In Australia at the moment, the Marriage Act of 1961, amended in 2004, says that marriage means the union of a man and a woman to the exclusion of all others, voluntarily entered into for life. Legally, the man and woman marrying must not be closely related. Either or both of them must not be already married to someone else, and they must be of marriageable age. There is no provision for a man and a man to marry, nor a woman and a woman. What does now exist in some places, however, is a system of civil unions and domestic partnerships. There now exists in Tasmania, the Australian Capital Territory, and Victoria, a system of civil unions. This is a legally recognised system similar to marriage, with some rights, benefits and responsibilities similar to marriage. Here in South Australia, there is a domestic partnership agreement. This system is a legal relationship between two individuals who live together and share a common domestic life, but are neither joined by marriage nor a civil union. However, in some jurisdictions, such as in parts of Australia, a domestic partnership is almost equivalent to marriage or to other legally recognised same-sex or different-sex unions. The terminology for such unions is still evolving, and the exact level of rights and responsibilities conferred by a domestic partnership varies widely from place to place. The civil unions and domestic agreements that we have in Australia do afford many of the benefits, responsibilities and rights that marriage does. Indeed, since the 1st of July 2009, same-sex couples have been recognised as de facto partners in a wide range of legislation in every Australian government jurisdiction, including superannuation, social security, healthcare and taxation. And so critics of the push for equality in marriage often argue that the system is fine as it is. Leave it, they say. Heterosexual people have marriage with all its attendant rights, benefits and responsibilities. Same-sex couples have civil unions or domestic partnership agreements with roughly the same rights, benefits and responsibilities. Leave it as it is, they say. But many people, gay, lesbian and otherwise, won't be so readily diverted. The system as it is, they say, and I agree, is a kind of matrimonial apartheid. And legally and practically, the two systems are not the same. Being married to someone binds you in more ways than just being obligated to share the remote control and pretending that you like each other's cooking. Being married is a unique legal status which is recognised by all governments around the world. It establishes your spouse as the next of kin, which is as good as being a blood relative. In almost all legal matters, from medical decision-making to property rights to funeral arrangements, your next of kin has an official say. In theory, civil unions are designed to give couples the same rights that marriages do. Yet unlike marriage unions, the legal rights given to same-sex couples vary from state to state. In some states, partners and civil unions are only given property rights, while in other states they can legally adopt children. While you can get married anywhere from Vegas to Vanuatu, civil unions are only offered in very specific places. Civil unions are also restrictive in that they are not necessarily portable. You may be viewed as official life partners in Tasmania, but cross over to the mainland and you're back to square one. There is also the problem of ending civil unions. Often there is no legislation which allows for the divorce or dissolution of the same-sex couple. Those in favour of same-sex marriages view the issue as a simple case of human rights. They believe that not allowing gay people to marry is like systematically excluding them from society and its institutions. Surely we wouldn't agree to excluding gay couples from the institutions that are our hospitals, our schools, our university and our legal system. Nor should we exclude them from the institution that is marriage, flawed as that institution is. Interestingly, that is an argument that people often give me for not making the Marriage Act open to same-sex as well as heterosexual couples. Some people say to me, words to the effect of, "Oh, they live an alternative lifestyle. They've chosen something different from us, so why would they want anything to do with something as mainstream as marriage?" Well, they may, or they may not, but let's at least give them the option, I say. Sometimes people say, "Marriage is a disaster, it's a court case. Why would you want to offer it to any more unsuspecting souls?" It is a flawed institution, I say, but let's give everyone equal access to that flawed institution. I have several friends who are gay who would never wish to marry or take part in a civil union. Many of my heterosexual friends were formerly married, others weren't, yet they all have a mortgage, have been together over 15 years and have children. I forget which couples are actually married and which ones aren't. It usually requires me to think back and remember what colour the bridesmaids' dresses were, how good the wine was, or what fun we had on the wedding day, before I'm sure which friends formally married and which didn't. They all seem happy enough. The aforementioned arguments are just some of the few offered to me as a reason not to open up the institution of marriage in such a way. These arguments have come from members of my family, friends, from the general public, from members of Unitarian congregations around the world, and from ministerial colleagues, Unitarian and otherwise. As a Unitarian minister, I can usually see both sides of any argument. Indeed, it is a big part of my job to see things in this way, and to offer them to you in a well-researched, balanced and reasoned way. And in nearly everything, I can see both sides. Those issues would include some things that are very personal, like whether or not to express anger or suppress it, or major societal issues like euthanasia. On all those things, I can see both sides of the story and would not express any passion either way. But on this one, I can only see one side. It is rare for me to say this, but I do think this is a black and white thing. Every time I have stood at a wedding, either here or in the UK, and said these words, "Marriage in the state of South Australia, marriage in England and Wales, means the union of a man and a woman to the exclusion of all others voluntarily entered into for life," I feel terrible every time. I feel as though I am part of a conspiracy every Saturday afternoon around the world that perpetuates an apartheid system of marriage. I feel as though I am helping prop up a system that allows some people to publicly declare their love for each other and receive their full measure of matrimonial benefits, rights and responsibilities, and shuts other people off from this. And I love conducting weddings. I absolutely love doing them. Each time I say those words, I mentally whisper to myself, I, we, they should do something about this.